Welcome back to the Dose Sports Podcast, and due to popular demand, we've got him back. Reuben, how are you, mate?
I'm good.
And
How are you?
no one's ever asked me that. I'm doing all right. Just finest footy.
How good?
It's here.
How
It's
good.
finally here. Wow. Anyway, to introduce Reuben, get to know him a bit more. Reuben, what is one sporting event that you would go back in time to and be there live?
I reckon I would want to be there live for Cavs v Warriors Game 7,
Wow.
the 2016 finals. It was just, that whole final series is so good. And NBA is probably my favourite, basketball is probably my favourite sport, probably my favourite league.
Wow.
And LeBron James! That would have been, so good. The atmosphere would have been crazy. Oh, man.
What a guy.
Yeah.
What a goat. And what is one sporting event that you would have hated to be in at?
Yeah, this one I'm struggling with. I reckon any of the grand finals that Roosters went to, I think it was 4 grand finals in 5 years at the start of the 2000s. We won one of them. So I was just any of that. But especially I hated that we lost to the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Because I just did not like the Bulldogs. I still don't, one of my best mates goes to the Bulldogs, so I just hate him. And yeah, probably that.
Stock.
Would not have wanted
Didn't they
to
get
do
done for cheating the year after that?
I think the year before, or 2002. 2004 they were fine. It was either 02 or 03.
Yeah.
But they were done, yeah.
Good times. For me, I would sporting moment I would have gone to is probably the Champions League final in 2012 where Chelsea beat Bayern Munich. Just 89th minute goal from Didier Drogba to tie it up, and then win on penalties in the Champions League final. I don't think you get much better than that. And the atmosphere at a football game, I don't think you can beat that.
Yeah,
in
fair.
any other sport. And the one I would have not liked to be in that, I watched it live, but if I was there, I think I would have cried. I think Headingley last year in the Ashes, that was...
Yeah, that's fair call.
I literally... It was just 3 a.m.
Yeah,
I was watching it.
I was watching it live as well.
It was 9 wickets down. I was like, alright, I can go to sleep now. One more wicket again.
Yeah.
Just the runs kept going in from Benny Stokes, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was no good.
Speaking
of atmosphere, it just popped in my head. I was at the NFC conference championship game last year.
Oh, right, yeah. Packers.
And it was Packers vs 49ers.
Yeah.
And it was actually so good. But it's they just hype it because it's a play, right? It's just one play and then you have a minute where they're doing nothing.
Yeah.
But when that one play happens, they build it up so hard. The atmosphere is crazy and it dies. But then every minute, the atmosphere is high. It's quality.
I saw one of my friends, he went to an NFL game, he said it was just dead.
Yeah, it's because it's players. But I reckon college sport in America,
better,
that atmosphere might be better.
Yeah, it goes up. I like watching it.
I reckon it would be crazy. Yeah.
LSU Clemson game, that
would have gone
off. I think we're gonna move to the NRL finals.
Let's do it.
And a bit of a recap of the last round going into the finals. So the top 8 sealed up in the final draw sealed up. Friday night, Penrith will be playing Roosters, first v4. And then Saturday, Arvo Raiders will play Sharks in the 5th v8. Storm Eels that night and in 2nd v3rd. And on Sunday, the last game, Rabbitohs v Newcastle in 6th v7th. Looking at the games of the week that just went past, start out with Broncos taking the wooden spoon for the first time.
How good!
It's
good
in the club's history.
They deserved it, eh?
They suck.
I thought the Bulldogs at least turned up every week.
Yeah.
And put in an effort. Maybe not this week against Penrith. Oh,
they get.
You know what? They try their best.
They
but
try
the
their
Broncos, their roster.
Yeah.
And then what they turn out on the field is just terrible.
Terrible.
They 100% deserve that.
The first 20 minutes I thought, wow, Broncos.
Yeah.
Darius Ford goes over and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
And then, once again, I don't understand what they're doing wrong in the second half.
Yeah.
They just turn off.
Yeah.
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 But
I was so happy that they got it.
There was a bit of drama with the Darius Boyd gender reveal because he didn't announce it to the club.
Yeah, he didn't tell the club. Yeah. I reckon that's terrible.
That's a bad look as well.
Yeah,
especially after you won the wooden spoon and everyone's just being a bit happy on the field. Yeah. It's not a great...
If I'm a Broncos fan and I saw that, I'd be so pissed off. These guys don't care. And then you see all their spoons chucked onto
the next day.
The Broncos training facility the next day. Oh,
That's good to see, but
Yeah.
it's good.
They deserve that.
Yeah.
And like I think for the NRL, it would be good if they are good because
Yeah.
Brisbane, like it's such a big club.
Because
big
they're
team.
thinking obviously of putting another Brisbane
Yeah,
team.
yeah,
Redcliffe
Redcliffe. Yeah.
is most looking.
Well, apparently they have the money to do it.
Yeah, I think they could.
And
And
they
be
have
like the richest club.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
they got the
yeah,
money,
yeah, they would be, and they're planning on building like a 10,000 or 15,000 seat stadium.
Yeah, which is good.
But yeah, as of right now, it's one city club
For probably the biggest city
and
for NRL.
yeah,
as well.
exactly. It's like they don't follow anything else up there. Like
Yeah.
it's just NRL.
Yeah.
So the fact that no Queensland team made the finals is pretty disappointing. But Broncos, they should never be.
Not make the finals.
Yeah, they should always be making the top 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stock. Speaking of another Queensland team, Friday night, Titans beating the Knights 36-6. I'm really looking forward to the Titans next year with the new signings as well.
Yeah, me too.
It's only up for the Titans, and that means probably finals football next year. I'd say for the Titans. They've been playing. Well, I think Jamal Fogarty is probably being the Titans' best player in terms of maybe not like tries and numbers like that, but he's allowed Ash Taylor to free up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And that combination's worked wonders.
Yeah.
Do you think this result for the Newcastle Knights will bear anything for this week's game, or is it just a skip?
It's weird. I feel like Knights are a big hit or miss team.
Yeah.
Like if they got pumped by the Warriors like 3 or 4 weeks ago as well.
Did, yeah.
But then they'll randomly turn up. It's like you have no idea what to expect for the Knights.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're playing the Rabbits, who we're about to talk about, and they had like a crazy week.
Yeah.
It's not looking good for the Knights, but the Knights, I reckon, on their day can actually beat anyone.
Yeah.
But the fact that their day isn't every single week means they 100% cannot win the comp.
They can't win it.
But who knows? They could beat the Rabbits, but I would still be picking the Rabbits.
Yeah. Just no one really turned up in that match for them.
Yeah.
And I think, again, Mitch Pearce, he should be the guy leading the side, and he just hasn't really done much, and it's quite disappointing.
Yeah.
I think Knights did this kind of last year, but they started super well last year as well, and then just dropped off right at the end.
Yeah. Knights had a crazy... I remember in the middle of last year, they had a crazy period. It was like when Mitchell Pearce was like on fire. That's why he was in Origin consideration. Like
he played.
And then he ended up playing.
Played,
but for every round, then he got like a hamstring injury.
Yeah.
Because apparently he was going to be first picked in game 1,
Yeah.
and then he got injured. Game 2, he got injured again. Or Loki looked like he kind of didn't want to play. Then he came into game 3 and he was able to win it. But they were in some crazy form, and then they ended off like they ended the season
really
like
I think they lost like 6.
Yeah, like they ended poorly. I remember last year as well. Yeah.
Moving on to the game of the week.
Yeah, I'm ahead up.
Let's go. Roosters, your boys.
Yes.
What happened?
I honestly have absolutely no idea. Like it was just a shocking night. Like we start honestly the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I was watching the first 10 minutes and I was like, I remember messaging my mates. I was like, Roosters are playing so well. For the first 10 minutes, they were playing so fast, and I was like, play the balls were so quick. They were getting up and down the field so fast, and then they got that second try disallowed for the forward pass.
Yeah.
And then there onwards, 10-minute mark onwards, was just some of the worst defense I've ever seen in my life. Especially the last 15, 20 minutes where they just continuously just went down the left edge.
Yeah.
And then Johnson was able to get to 5 tries. And they were able to get to 60. It was a shocking performance.
Yeah, in saying that, you did say they did rest 4 players and they were all on the right side.
Yeah.
Majority of the tries went down that side.
Yeah.
Who was playing for them on that side?
So Mitchell Orbison and Matt Ikuvalu played, and next week will be Joseph Manu and Brett Morris, who've been playing there all year.
Yeah.
So that will at least shore it up a little bit, but
it's not a great result going the
regardless. Mitchell Orbison's a great defender, and Matt Ikuvalu's played half our first grade games this year, so the fact that they let in so many, but also credit to
Rabbits
and particularly Cody Walker.
Wow. He's probably been the most form player to come in the last 6 or 7 rounds, I'd say.
Since that round Adam Reynolds missed, or he got injured right at the start of the game, I feel like ever since then,
Cody
Walker's gone to another level.
It's because he just runs the football. He's one of the best runners of the football in the comp. Yeah. He runs it hard, runs it straight. He's similar. I think him and Jack Wyden, when they run the football, they're probably the best 2 6.
And I feel like when Cody Walker's confident, in himself. Like, he's been playing well. I think also, like, in saying that, also when Latrell went out, that's when he became, like, the best form in the comp.
Yeah.
Like, he just took over. It was like, all right, I'm going to run the ball more. And when he's running the ball, he's always in the right spot at the right time.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And apparently Brad Fittler's assured him that he'll have a spot in his squad.
Yeah, because he obviously started game one last year.
Yeah.
But obviously,
didn't have a great game.
Didn't have a yeah. Keary should be in that 6th spot with Cleary for 7.
Mm-hmm.
Do you reckon he could get a 14 jumper the way he's playing?
Oh, it's a possibility, yeah. Trying to think, I didn't tip him to be like. I reckon I would still tip him not to get it, just because they have like the types of like Wade Graham and stuff. So it's like, would you use an extra spot on a Cody Walker when Wade Graham will already be in the side and you can slot him into 6?
Yeah.
But yeah, you never know. With the form that he's in right now, it's hard to leave him out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it depends on, I guess, what kind of structure they want their bench to have.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And they've got plenty of time to decide, and injuries could happen during finals as well, which could lead to him being the squad or him getting injured as well. So,
what do you think about Alex Johnson getting gifted one of those tries to become the leading try scorer in the comp?
I mean, he did like drop a sitter against, I think, Tigers or something.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So like I feel like
I forgot about that. He did. Yeah, he did.
So I feel like that's just like replace that
makes
one.
Up for it.
Yeah.
You know what, that's fair call. I didn't think of it because when I saw it live, I was like, oh, stuff this guy. Like, if you want to win it like properly. Like, it's your tries. But yeah, he did full bomb that one. Yeah. So you know what? That's fair enough.
Yeah, I think
give it to him.
Yeah. And you have to create the opportunity for to him to score anyway. So I think it's fair enough that he got that. Yeah. Do you think Roosters bears anything on Roosters' performance next week?
A little bit more, like, mentally more than anything. I think, like, because finals to me, it's like it's a new season.
Yeah,
it's a whole new season, right?
Yeah.
But there's a little bit, like, mentally, that will be like, we just had 60 points put on us. Like, it's not like it's a new season, but it's not like your defensive structures change or anything like that. So you're just like, how did our structures go from this to allowing 60 points? Like,
in the space of a week.
Since Trent Robinson's been there, I haven't seen them this bad on defense ever.
And no sides won the comp after 50's been put on them.
But you know what? 2020, it's a weird year.
It is.
It'll be the first time for it.
Nah, not a chance that's happening. Actually, it could. I'm not gonna lie, it could happen.
But yeah, I think more mentally than anything else. Like, just the fact in your head that you lost. Because, like, if they lost, whatever, like, they wouldn't care. It's a new season. But having 60 put on you, I reckon, can be a little bit, like, psychological. Like, you're just like, crap. And
for Penrith and Roosters, it's pretty much a whoever you really need to win this game, because you don't want to be playing I assume Melbourne's going to win. Don't want to jinx it, but Melbourne's probably going to beat Parramatta. So you got to win this game. So if you win this game, you make it to the grand final. Essentially,
I think so as well, because the loser of this game will probably also verse the Raiders.
Yeah.
So if you have to verse you have to verse either Panthers or Roosters, whoever loses, then verse Raiders, then verse Storm.
Yeah.
You're going to have 3 tough games in a row.
Yeah.
And you have to win 2 in a row to get back to grand final. And I reckon that's too tough.
Too tough.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much a must-win game for those two clubs. And speaking of that game, Panthers on the Saturday.
Yeah.
Dominant performance, 40-0, 42-0. Just solid from the Panthers, really.
Yeah, they're so good all year.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be... So that's like... They've had the exact opposite result of the Roosters pretty much going into the finals. So they'll be so confident going in.
Yeah.
But for me as a Roosters supporter, I would have preferred to play the Panthers over the Storm, just because they don't have as much finals experience.
Mm-hmm.
But the way they're travelling, they might not need any fun. Like, they'll be riding that high, and they'll be so confident in themselves.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I would have preferred, I'm the opposite to you. I would have preferred Roosters to come third, so Melbourne would play them, because then I think the loser, because that means they would probably meet in the grand final, if Roosters lost,
Roosters
next week, lose next week, we're gonna probably, most likely that Roosters and Storm will play and not be in the grand,
like last year,
and not make it to the grand final.
Because even I remember when you guys lost to the Raiders in the first round last year, I was like, what are you doing? I was like, far out. Now it's versus in the prelim.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But yeah, Panthers. And it looks like Nathan Cleary's got those Dally M points.
Yeah. The
Got
6-point reduction that
Yeah.
they said was going to be there at the beginning of the season, been removed because it wasn't a on-field discretion.
Yeah.
So
I reckon just give it to him now. I reckon.
you never know, but like
Who else do you see?
I don't
winning?
because Dally M, like Nathan Cleary has been the best player all year.
Yeah.
But since the Dally M is really based on like how if you're the best person on your team as well.
Yeah.
Like there'll be days where maybe Jerome will gets 2 tries and 2 tries, and then Mansour scores a double or Crichton sets up 3. So that Panthers team, since all of them are playing well, maybe a lot of them are taking points off Cleary some games.
See, I reckon he's always like at least top 3. So I reckon every single week he's getting points, and the fact that they won 19 games or 18 games and 1 draw, he will be in the points so many weeks. That makes me like like for me personally, I'm like, he should be like $1.10 to win it. Like, and I'll still put the house on it.
So Cleary should win, but like you can never tell with Dally.
Who's someone that you could see winning it? That's not Nathan Cleary.
I would have said Cameron Smith, but he did miss.
I think he missed 3 or 4
3.
rounds.
He missed 3 with shoulder and then 1 rested.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know, but every time he did play, he was probably man of the match for Melbourne.
Yeah. But then, because he also has like players like Pappenhausen and Munster, who will get points when they play well.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's tough to tell, really. When do they do that? 1 week before grand final?
Yeah, usually it's in grand final week, but I'm not sure how it's happening this year, but I would assume it's the same.
Yeah. Moving to next game on the Saturday, Raiders with a nobody team basically beat the Sharks 38-28.
Yeah.
Just Sharks. The game's being played next week.
Yeah. Honestly, like this would be so demoralizing for the Sharks when you look across and you're like, we're playing Raiders like B team, like half their players are just being rested, and we still lose. Like,
but like they get when you're losing to a B team by 38 points, should you even really be in the finals?
Yeah, exactly. Like, at this point, I'd rather the Titans, especially as soon as Sean Johnson was out. I was like, well, Sharks aren't doing anything.
Yeah, they're true.
So like Raiders would pump them next week, but yeah, that's so demoralizing. They would have gone back into the sheds and be like, "Yep, we're playing these guys next week, and they'll be 10 times better." and they already put 38 on us. So yeah.
In saying that could be one of the greatest finals upsets if they somehow.
That's true. That would be
manage
crazy.
to win.
If Raiders get like overconfident,
Yeah.
just have it in their heads that they've already won it and don't prepare properly. You never know. But Ricky Stewart will. That guy always has like an us against them mentality.
Yeah.
They'll come in and be like, "We're gonna kill these boys. We're gonna put like 50 on them."
Yeah.
So yeah, I reckon that's gonna be it.
Yeah,
Demolition.
I would be surprised if Raiders don't put 50 on them.
Yeah, it's gonna be demolition.
Yeah. Tom Starling, bit of a revelation for the Raiders.
Yeah.
Not sure what his role will be next year when Josh Hodgson comes back. Do you reckon he's a good chance of leaving clubs and going maybe somewhere like the Bulldogs who could use him?
Yeah, I'm not sure how long he has left on his contract, but yeah, he's been so good for them. I thought when Josh Hodgson was out, I was like, these guys are.
Yeah.
They had like no chance at winning the comp, but I mean, I still have them above the Eels, so I would like Raiders for me are like still fourth favourite to win the comp, which is without Josh Hodgson I thought would be no chance. But watching them play every week, they still turn up and they're still so good.
Yeah. So Tommy Starling, I think he's with that Josh Hodgson situation. He's clearly proven that he's good enough to be a starting. There's not many other clubs, but that really need a starting hooker role.
Bulldogs need a lot.
Apart from Bulldogs,
they
really.
should be going after. I reckon. I have a feeling for some reason that they've already signed Matt Bird.
Yeah.
But Trent Barron doesn't want to they don't want to announce it because he's working at the Panthers right now.
Because he did let 2 halves go.
He let Kieran Foran go.
Go. So I think he's already got someone there.
Just the fact that Trent Barrett's already at Penrith.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if after the finals are over we see a Matt Bird signed with the Bulldogs announcement.
So it'd be Matt Burton 7, Avarillo. Who's
Probably like. See, Avarella, I like him more at like centre or something.
Yeah.
Maybe just because he hasn't.
To be fair, he has
enough.
been alright. Well, apart from
But yeah, they Bulldogs need a lot.
Yeah.
Like their roster's
trash.
it's not good.
It's trash.
Lachlan Lewis and like Brendan Wakeham, they have like random moments where you're like, oh yeah, they could be.
Okay,
alright.
Lachlan Lewis is the worst player in the club.
Yeah, and then like he'll have like for me, I swear he'll do like one thing good. I'm like, oh, maybe if he could do this, and then like the rest of the game, I'm like, bro, this guy is so bad, like far out.
Yeah. Moving on to the last game on Saturday. Eels just scraping one out against the Tigers. It's just not what you want to see going into finals. And I think
they need to scrape it out. Like that's what I was saying a few weeks ago. Like that they don't put bad teams away.
Yeah.
And this one, not even put it. They had to actually go and win it. Like it wasn't even Tigers coming back.
Yeah.
So they're no like. And if they lost this, they had so much to play for. If they lost, they were fifth.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and
the fact that they had to play for that.
Yeah.
And they only barely won. I'm just like.
I mean, they might as well start preparing for Rabbitohs.
Yeah.
Because not a chance they're beating Melbourne Storm.
Yeah, I cannot see them beating Melbourne. No chance. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't deserve to be.
I was actually checking the odds this morning. The odds of Raiders beating Sharks was the same as Storm beating the Eels. It was like $1.25.
Yeah, that's stock.
So that's just sad. Like it's 5v8, which should be like $1.25. Like you probably get pumped when it's 2v3.
It should be so close. No, it's so bad.
Yeah.
Do you think Rabbitohs would beat the Eels in this?
I do.
Yeah. Pretty comfortably.
So I reckon. Unless Knights, like I was saying, Knights have like their on week off. If they have an on week against Rabbits and an off week against Eels, other than that, I see Eels going out straight sets.
Yeah. There was so much promise at the beginning of the year for them.
Yeah.
And they died.
I was actually telling my mates this. I reckon their whole spine is full of city versus country level players.
Yeah.
Like Clint Gutson, Mitchell Moses,
Dylan
Reed Marnie, Dylan Brown. I reckon they're all like just underneath that origin level. Like whereas like Storm have like Smith, Munster, Pappenhausen, Roosters have Teddy, Keary, like even Jake Friends like in consideration for Queensland. So it's like they just don't have anyone that I'm like, oh wow, they're just elite.
Yeah. They I don't know but how they can improve that.
Yeah, exactly. But then they're like not bad enough where you're like, we need to change this spot.
Yeah.
So that's why I cannot see them winning a comp.
Yeah. They need to get some junior superstars.
But Dylan Brown is very young.
Yeah.
And he has
I think Dylan Brown...
He has that type of potential. He's just not there yet, obviously. So if he reaches that potential, then maybe, but yeah.
100%. Sunday's game. Moving on to Sunday's game. Warriors, the people's team, winning against Seagulls.
How good.
It's just, it's great to see. And again, I would prefer this team in the finals over the Sharks any day of the week. I don't know, there's a lot of games that could have gone their way during the season. Yeah. That could have put them in the 8, but that's footy pretty much.
They're the type of team where it's like, because they don't like play like proper structure. They chuck the ball around randomly, so like they can just beat anyone randomly.
Yeah,
and,
randomly.
You just never see it happening.
Yeah, I think that's like they played the Roosters at I think like 6 or 7 weeks ago, and it was like such a tight game, but like. It's because they're very unpredictable.
Yeah, exactly. And then that Knights game where they just rock up and they put like heaps of like 36 or whatever they put on them, and I was just like, what is it like?
What is it?
Oh man. Yeah. But they're 100% the people's team for 2020. Like they did so good to keep the comp going. Mm-hmm. It was just like it's actually such a big sacrifice.
Yeah, and I think Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, he was like offered to go home early.
Because he couldn't play the last
week, and he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna stay with the team." And he hasn't seen it. I think he had his wife and a baby during this time.
Because his family didn't come over, so he hasn't seen family in so long.
Yeah,
and but good on him.
Yeah, fair play to him. Manly
Manly's like, besides the Broncos, are for me like the most disappointing. Dragons as well. They have a great roster, but
I think Manly have a better. Like I chip Manly for top 4 this season.
It's because the fact that how hard they folded, just Tom Trbojevic is out and they just crumbled.
Yeah.
Like, it's just sad. Like,
and you think, like, one player couldn't take a team from 4th to, what are they, 14th?
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. It's
13th.
13th. And, like, it's just crazy because without him, like, I feel like that team just gives up.
Yeah. See, this was like... So, I expected DCE to, like, be able to carry that... Like, I didn't... Like, once he got injured, I was like... I thought they'll be battling for that 8th spot. Like, Sharks, Dragons, Seagulls or something would be battling for that 8th. But they didn't even look like getting that 8th spot. Like,
I think the one that really hit him hard was when Dylan Walker got injured. And I think that was like... Yeah, see you later.
Like, 2 people out of your spine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair call.
Yeah, because they beat Eels and then Dylan Walker got injured, I think, the next week. And then it was pretty much...
But yeah, Tom Trbojevic, like, he's clearly means so much to that team. And then clearly means so much to New South Wales, the fact that he was just put into the squad straight away.
But that also talks... I think Seagulls obviously need to recruit then, like... Where... do you think Cherry Evans... How old is he? How long has he got? He's not that old, is he?
He should be around 30. He's been around for about 10 or so years.
Yeah, 31.
Yeah, 31. There you go.
So
apparently they signed Kieran Foran for next year.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so that will be so interesting. Like, they won to come together, 2011, wasn't it?
Yeah, against the Warriors, 2011.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting, them pairing up like 10 years later and how that goes. And that makes their spine if they can get like a better hooker.
So what happens to Dylan Walker then?
That's what people... So there was some talk where people like Kieran Foran maybe play 9 or whatever. I was like, sure, he will not play 9. He'll be their 6. But then, that's where I was like, what are they going to do?
I would 100% rather Dylan Walker over Kieran Foran.
You reckon?
Yeah,
I really like as long as he can stay on the park.
Yeah.
I reckon when he's on the field, Kieran Foran is still really good.
You reckon? Okay, I'd rate Dylan Walker. I think Dylan Walker, apart from Tom Trbojevic, is probably Manly's best player.
Really?
Yeah. I think...
Ahead of Jake Trbojevic and Daly Jones.
Because when Tom Trbojevic got injured, he was the one who stepped up for the team. So I think Dylan Walker... I don't know what's going to happen with that Foran situation then.
Because I think if Foran comes... Dylan Walker pretty much has to play centre.
Who they got Parker or someone? Yeah.
I reckon, because he's played a lot of centre in his
he has,
career.
Well, at the Rabbitohs.
And then Kieran Foran, I don't think he can play anywhere else. Yeah. So you would have to plug him in at 6. So I think Dylan Walker would have to move to centre, but who knows? None of them can stay in the park anyway, so they'll probably all be playing different weeks.
Adam Fanua-Blake, he left last week, and I think they offered their contract extension and a raise straight after a week later.
Oh, really?
The new upcoming pro. I'm not sure of his name.
And I know Adam Fanua-Blake's already signed with the Warriors.
Yeah. Taniela Paseki.
Oh,
Paseka re-signed on a 3-year deal.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
Literally days after that, Adam Fanua-Blake stuff. So, he's gonna become the new Fanua-Blake, and that forward pack, Manly's forward pack is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's so good.
It is quality.
Yeah.
And they lose? Who retired? Joel Thompson retired, isn't he?
Yeah, Joel Thompson.
So he's gone, and then apparently Paul Schuster, that 5'8", apparently he played second row. On the weekend? Growing up.
Oh, right.
So apparently he's a chance to be their new second rower, and then kind of spend a year under Kieran Foran learning, and then moving to 6 after that.
I was just thinking, who's the other 6? Cade Cust. He's good enough to.
He's good enough as well. But if Kieran Foran's there and Dylan Walker's there, I feel like. Because Cade Cust, I think, should be playing as well.
Maybe Cade Cust.
He might need a new club.
Maybe Canterbury. Cade Cust.
Send anyone to Canterbury.
Yeah.
They need so much. They need help anywhere you can help them out.
Maybe Burton and Cust, the new 6 and 7.
That would improve their team so
dramatically. Yeah. Moving on to the last game. Do I want to move on to the last game? Probably not.
No, I mean, you've rested how many? 13? Something like that.
10 or 11.
I remember seeing the team list on Tuesday, and Alex was this one. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, no. It was pretty much a B team, and we actually dominated for the first 50 minutes.
It was 5 tries all.
Yeah, just Pappy couldn't kick.
It was proper windy. I was
okay. All the tries were on the wing as well.
And then Dragon scored a lot near the post, so they were slotting him over. And Pappenhausen doesn't kick every week.
Yeah.
But the fact that this was even such a close game. I was just like, what is wrong with the Dragons, man?
What? So they got Tyson Frizzell,
Yep.
Cameron McInnes, who was in the Origin thing.
Yep.
Probably Zach Lomax should. I don't know. Oh, actually,
Well, he hasn't got named so
hasn't
far.
got named. Yeah.
I guess he could get named later on. It will depend on like what kind of injuries and stuff happen.
Tag Sims, who's played Queensland.
Yeah, but I think
That's right.
because I think the only person they're worrying about is Tom Trbojevic, because I think Jack Whiten would definitely be.
Yeah.
So I think like if Jack Whiten gets injured as well, then Zach Lomax comes in the squad. But I reckon right now Stephen Crichton will be like the backup centre.
I think if since it's between Crichton and Lomax for the backup centre, I think you have to go Crichton based on Panthers form, even though they're probably similar in like ability and form as well. Like
on their like individual form. Well, Crichton's actually I think he's fifth in like the try scoring league.
Yeah.
But that left hand side for Panthers is just
dead. It's so good. Yeah.
But yeah, and the fact that Tony Staggs is because I thought he might be a spanky as well. But the fact that Broncos and Dragons were doing, I reckon for people that haven't played Origin before, you'd rather, if they're like new to the team, you'd rather them be from a team that's winning. Mm-hmm. Like these players are winners already, and that's why I reckon Stephen Crichton will be in the squad.
100%. It's still like amazing to see like Melbourne Storm. Like I think Cooper Johns was saying in the interview before that they just step in. The next person just knows their role because the systems they've drilled so well.
That's why there's so many players where you're like, this guy's trash, goes to Melbourne, and you're like,
just turns their career around. Like a person like Brian Norrie, he's won premiership. Could technically won premiership.
Yeah.
But he was like such a trash player. Like, but apparently like what I think I was listening to something where Brett Finch was like, they literally give you like 2 instructions to do the whole game. And
but apparently if you don't do it, they will like call you out and they'll hammer you for it. Like,
in video sessions and stuff
you
like
got to do your job.
Yeah. In the interview because Cooper John's obviously Maddie's son, he was getting interviewed by Joey on 9. Yeah. And then at the end of the interview, Joey's like, play like your uncle, your dad. I was like, that's class from him.
Oh, that's cool.
Stock Joey. Finals. Tips. So you think? I'm obviously.
I'm back in Roosters.
Yeah.
I've already got on him.
That's so stock. Oh my gosh. What do you reckon? Who's favourite?
Panthers, just 1.5 point favourites.
Okay.
So like just
basically split hairs.
And I reckon if it was after round 19, I reckon it would be the other way around. Like Roosters slight favourites.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that they got pumped and Panthers pumped Bulldogs,
I'm gonna say Panthers win that one. Just based on last week.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
In terms of both teams' performance last week, keeping it to 0, I think, proves you're a good team. Yeah. So, because you could easily switch off when you're 36 up, you just be like, it doesn't really matter. So, Panthers to win for me, and then Raiders to beat the Sharks.
I think we're both back in.
Storm to beat the Eels.
Both back in Raiders and the Storm.
And then Rabbitohs to beat
I'm
the
back
Knights.
In the Rabbits as well.
It's pretty those 3 games are very definitive for a final series.
I just think Knights are unpredictable though. So but Rabbits have been playing really well the last few weeks. That's why I think Rabbits. But for a while, Rabbits were unpredictable as well. So I feel like you never know with 6v7s like that type of game where you just never know. Yeah. But I'll be tipping at Rabbits.
Alrighty, that pretty much wraps up that NRL.
Yeah.
New segment this week. It's since we're in finals for the NRL. Might as well do a segment called the Top 4 because no one else outside the 4 is going to win the finals. That's all I'm saying right now. Top 4. And it's basically just a top 4 picking people of what you think and answering the question. And on the basis of that, you can't pick more than one person from the sport. So no 2 people from the NRL, and same with every other sport. And this week's top 4 athletes who would make good president/prime ministers in their country.
So, can't be same sport. I'm going to go with the man, LeBron James. Yeah.
The king.
Surely him. I've got to go with Cameron Smith.
Rightio.
He knows how to have a chat to people. He knows how to get his way, I reckon.
Won't be the most popular.
Yeah, it
bloke.
might not be the most popular, but he can always pay people off. So.
Okay.
So
That's a bit rich
do
coming
it.
from the salary cap sombrero.
Mate, I mean, we've never been caught of anything, whereas the Storm have lost 2 premierships because of it. So that's all I'm saying.
Alright.
3, I'm gonna go with Roger Federer.
Ooh.
I reckon he's just an all-round nice bloke.
He is, yeah.
You just can't.
No one hates him.
Can't not love him.
Yeah.
And 4th, you know what? I'm gonna go cricket. I'm gonna go with MS Dhoni because all of India would just follow whatever he does anyway.
Yeah,
So he's practically already.
that is so
I
stoic.
reckon anything he says, or Virat Kohli, or whatever they say now, all of India will do anyway.
1.2 billion people would follow
Yeah,
him.
exactly.
So, yeah, that's a good top
We'll go
4.
with those.
I would go with Cameron Munster. Just fantastic speaker, and I think
Just good bloke.
just a
All-round good
great bloke. Okay, Kevin Durant, based on his loyalty and his backup Twitter accounts, that would back him as well.
They'll back up himself. The bet. Oh man, when he got caught out, he
That's
backed
funny.
himself on his main
Oh
account.
my
He was
gosh,
like,
that was the
what do you
funniest
expect from Kevin Durant?
thing. Oh my gosh,
Oh, man.
that was actually funny. Like you don't expect that people would care. Like
Yeah,
people like
that's what
someone
I was
like
like,
Kevin.
surely you don't care this much.
Oh my
But,
gosh.
ugh,
Okay. Like yeah. Next person, I'm going Nathan Lyon. Bit of a cult figure in
Okay.
Australia. The goat himself. Yeah, I think every Aussie would back him.
Yeah.
And the last one, I think this guy really just upholds morals and good standards in sport he plays. Nick Kyrgios.
Oh yes.
Just what a guy he would
What
be.
a guy.
Polarizing. Nah. He
You
would
know.
suck. Yeah. I mean,
Trump's
Trump.
been calling people out with all this COVID stuff.
Exactly.
Calling out
He-
Novak.
He cleaned up his
Yeah.
act a bit, so
Yeah, he's cleaned up a
who
little
knows?
bit. Yeah.
Only way up.
Now he's firing at other people. Like,
Yeah.
I've cleaned up. Let me just fire.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's like he's never done anything.
He's such
He
a
should-
funny guy. Oh, I love him.
Yeah. I mean, if Trump can become president,
Yeah, that's true.
Nick Kyrgios could become president.
Yeah.
I think moving on from that into the Kevin Durant expertise area and the NBA wrapped
Let's
up
do it.
today. Both yesterday the West was wrapped up and today the East wrapped up. The Miami Heat, the biggest underdogs I've ever seen, and they've made it.
Yeah.
No one saw this coming.
Yeah, I reckon absolutely no one picked them.
No.
Which they're like that type of team that loves that.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I was thinking about it today. So Miami Heat. So Pat Riley is like their president,
Yeah.
and he has like this rule where you have to have like this particular body fat. Like even in your off season, if you're not in shape on your first day of training, like first day of training, people
Everyone's
are like
so
a little bit like they're sort of in shape, but they need that like game time.
Yeah.
He's like you have to be in perfect shape your first day. So
Right.
like in off season. So and then I think with the bubble, they hadn't played for 4 months or whatever, and it's like. It almost comes down to, I feel like, the teams that are prepared for this. Like, they have to be mentally strong to prepare for this. They've been in there for 90 days now, which is crazy. Like, they've been in...
That's why I think Warriors also might have done well, because if you're in, like, a team environment, like, stuck together...
It's just, like, just us.
Just the boys, and you kind of, like... They kind of become your family, and, like, you know... You kind of just get to know stuff, like... And it might not seem like you get to know them better on the field, but things like that... make it like you gel better, basically.
But yeah, I reckon Miami, I reckon in that 4 months off or whatever it was, I reckon they were just making sure they were ready for when the season comes back. And I didn't expect them to be this good, but I also didn't expect... So they're playing like zone defense a lot.
Yeah.
Which in professional basketball should not be working. It should not be working. But it's been working for them.
Yeah.
I can't see it working against Lakers.
Yeah.
But... I mean,
in saying that, they've been...
Yeah, but I would have said that before every single round.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not expect them to beat Celtics.
I think it's just that team where they're not like a 2-man or 1-man team. Pretty much.
That's the thing as well.
Everyone does their job, and like even they're 6-man and 7-man, they're just good players. So.
And one thing about Celtics as well. So Celtics have like what 3, 4, pretty much 5 like borderline all-star players.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're the type of team where it's like my turn, your turn kind of thing.
Yeah,
so they're not playing as a team. It's like you almost stand around watching the other guy.
Yeah.
Do it.
Tatum will take over for like one bit, and then they'll give it to Jalen Brown.
Like, all right, your turn kind of thing. Whereas like Miami, like Jimmy Butler's their star and Bam Adebayo's like their second best player, but they don't their stats you wouldn't even be like,
Yeah.
oh, this is like 100% their star player.
Yeah.
Because like you look at their stats and it's like the
I
same as everyone else.
think every week, every game,
Yeah,
it's
they
a
have
different
like
top scorer or different
Whereas, like,
most assists.
just for example, Lakers.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a game where it's not LeBron or Anthony
Yeah,
Davis.
yeah.
Like, you know it's going to be LeBron or Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Or with Nuggets as well. You know it's going to be Jokic or Jamal Murray. Whereas Heat, you have no idea.
Yeah.
And that kind of makes them a bit more... It's harder to, like, focus in on someone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Lakers, kind of, I would say they won the series pretty comfortably in the end.
Yeah.
No game was, like, out of hand. I think...
Well, they lost game 3.
Game 3, but...
Yeah.
I think a
And
lot
even game 2, like, they needed that buzzer beater.
Yeah, that is true.
But I reckon it changed as soon as Dwight Howard started. So because Jokic needs someone, like, if you have someone big on him that can, like, not just let him bully other people, it changed everything.
Yeah, because that was a mismatch in the Clippers-Nuggets series, basically. So Jokic pretty much dominated that whole series.
So they just ran that pick and roll, and then they didn't have anyone that could defend Jokic, whereas Lakers are big. Like,
they're all big
proper
breaks.
size for him.
Yeah.
So they could actually defend Jokic so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going into the finals, 14 days. It's a pretty game every 2 days.
Yeah, pretty much. We'll start, I think, except for between game 4 and 5, there'll be 3 days. But every other one, there's a game every other day.
What do you think? Do you think Lakers are, well, obviously you're a Lakers fan.
Yeah.
Sportsbet already paid him out.
Yeah.
In a mistake.
They paid me out. I'm cheering.
They had a little
And then I put
slip
all the
up.
winnings back on the Lakers. I'm like, alright, pay me more.
You think, Lakers should win.
Yeah.
But
I think in 5 or 6.
Yeah. I think, well, with the unpredictability of Miami, it's very hard to tell. That first game obviously will tell a lot on what the series is going to be. I think if Miami can win that first game, it really puts a bit of pressure on Lakers. I don't know the stats on losing the first game in a conference.
I don't think they're like that significant. Yeah, I know it's like obviously losing first 2, it's like very significant.
Yeah.
I guess it wouldn't be great because just the fact that you lost the game, it's like already disadvantaged you a lot. But I reckon if Lakers don't win the series, they are going to cop it so heavily because they are such big favourites. And LeBron James is just one of like the most scrutinised people in sport. So if he doesn't take them to the title, he will cop it.
Yeah. I mean...
So that just makes me think he's going to come out fully prepared and fully in the mindset where he's just like, I need to go and I'm not going to...
How many rings would that be for him?
That would be his 4th.
4th.
Yeah.
So 2 more to get Jordan.
Yeah. I don't think he'll get Jordan.
Yeah, he won't get...
I don't even like... So LeBron's my favourite player, but I have Michael Jordan as the best player ever.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think Michael Jordan's the best player.
Yeah.
But... I don't think he'll... Even if he got to 6, I don't think he catches Jordan.
Yeah.
But the thing he has going for him is how long he played. Like, Jordan had that little break in the middle of his career, which kind of lets you reset your body, like a fresh jump. He did play baseball, which is... I guess he had to get his body into shape for that.
Not a sport.
He had to change like his body type a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's just...
It's a game.
Completely different sport. But the fact that he got a little bit of a break kind of thing. But I just love the way LeBron plays.
Yeah.
But I liked the way LeBron played maybe like a couple years ago. I feel like now that he's a bit older, he plays a bit slow sometimes in like the half court, and then I just get like annoyed. But then he'll score anyway. I'm like, all right.
Oh, fine. Whatever.
Can't say anything.
Yeah. So, I think Lakers should win. Well, Lakers should win. But again, 2020?
Can't ever write them off.
Yeah, you can't write them off.
And like, I mean, Eric Spoelstra was the coach for LeBron. Like, they will know what to expect from LeBron.
Yeah.
They'll be prepared for him, but can they be prepared for that whole team? I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Moving on to the EPL. A bit of drama this weekend. Multiple results going the wrong way and a bit of drama in the opening game, United-Brighton. United winning 3-2, and there's a bit of controversy due to the timing of the last goal, as they got a goal in the 90th plus 10 minutes of and it was off a penalty as well because they done off VAR, and it's a bit.
So what are they saying, that the game should have been called already?
technically,
Stoppage time
yeah.
is
So
majority.
what initially they were saying, because it's based on how, like, in that stoppage time period. I don't know what the initial time was, but like
how many stoppages in that period?
Yeah. So usually they say like 4 minutes of stoppage time,
Yeah.
but I think they were having a problem with how many obviously the stoppages in that period, but then after the game they checked it out and it was like the referee actually was spot on right, but it was very odd to see 90 plus 10 minutes and getting a penalty.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, getting a penalty in the 100th minute of it was a bit
extra time.
Yeah, it was a bit dodgy.
Yeah.
But credit to United, they were on the back foot for most of that game. Only 7 shots compared to Brighton's 18. They've looked shaky in the opening 2 games, but I think again 2020 they just finished the season like 4 weeks ago, so the players really haven't had a rest. So the start of the season, I don't think is going to matter.
Not putting too much stock into it.
Yeah, not too much. Saying that, Everton beating Palace 2-1. They've had a fantastic start of the season. Dominic Calvert-Lewin scoring another one. He's moved to 5 goals for the campaign. I think I predicted it last week, Everton to come 7th. I think they're really going to push for a top 6 spot. They're looking good. Crystal Palace, who another team that came off the blocks early, they still did play well, and obviously coming off beating United last week, which is a pretty big result. Obviously, Crystal Palace not a good club, but they're playing very good football at the moment, and I think the Everton game is not really a big decider for them. I think they're gonna be a jumper this season and maybe push for that top half of the table where they're usually battling for relegation. So, good signs for them. Moving on to my boys.
Your boys.
Yeah, struggling. They 3 defensive we absolutely dominated the game.
Yeah.
But 3 defensive mistakes led in 3 goals. Like it was just shocking, and it's the worst bit is that I'm kind of celebrating a 3-3 draw against West Ham after. It's just not good to see. But Timo Werner, they signed. He's a German striker they signed. He's on big money. Has yet to score in 3 games, and Tammy Abraham, subbed on, comes in and saves the day in the 93rd minute. 93rd minute to seal the 3-3 draw.
Seal the draw.
Not a great start for Chelsea this season. But they've got I think they got a pretty easy run coming up, so hopefully they can whip out some few games. Crystal Palace and Southampton, and then obviously the United game coming up soon, but apart from that, pretty easy run to reconsolidate themselves in the season. Next game, Southampton-Burnley, pretty dead game. No one would watch that. Danny Ings scores in the first 5 minutes and then it's just dead. It's so dead from after that. I think one of my cousins was from England, and I think when I was really into Premier League, I was watching Southampton vs Leicester, and I was watching on the phone in the back when we picked him up from the airport, and he was like, "Bro, why are you watching this game? Not even people in England would watch this game." And I was like, "Bro, what?" He's like, "No one watches these dead games over there." And I was like, "Oh gosh." So that was such a dead game. Who do you go for?
So, when I watched, when I was younger, when I was, proper into soccer, and I went for United just because they were the first team that I knew.
Yeah.
But I haven't followed it properly in so long.
Yeah, stuff.
But
NBA, probably, yours main is probably NBA and NRL.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Next game, Leeds coming out with another win. A win against Sheffield United, not another win. They just lost to Liverpool. Another win, sorry. They beat Fulham and then lost to Liverpool in the first match. Leeds, obviously winning the championship last year. I think they might sneak in the top. I think Leeds is one of those teams that could either be 9th or they could be 16th.
Yeah.
So
right.
they're like the...
I thought you were going to say 9th or 5th.
No, 9th or 16th.
It's either mid-pack or last.
Yeah. So yeah, we're not sure what we'll get for them. Sheffield United, obviously a very defensive team, but yeah, you need to start scoring goals if you want to win games.
It's usually how you do it.
That is.
Yeah.
I heard someone say the team who scores most goals usually wins.
Yeah.
And the team who concedes less,
Yeah.
they usually win as well. So I think that's a good way to go. Tottenham got very unlucky with a draw against Newcastle with a penalty in the 97th minute. Just a lot of like late stuff this week. It's just, not a great start for Mourinho. I think they lost to Everton. They got battered by Everton last week, and then in the first week they got done by Everton, but then beat Southampton pretty convincingly last week, 5-2. But not a great start for Mourinho's boys. I thought at the beginning of the season with Gareth Bale, I think he's coming back and playing this week. Oh, sorry. They signed him and he's going to be playing in either this week or the next match. With him in there, obviously, he's one of my favourite players of all time. And I think with Gareth Bale coming back, they should excel. But Tottenham is Tottenham. Like, they haven't done anything. Like, they haven't won trophies. So it's hard to tell what they're going to do. Newcastle, again, they're stuck in the game, but they didn't deserve to win at all. And they got, I think that was their first shot on target with that penalty. Lucky draw for them. Last two games, which happened this morning, two absolutely massive results. Leicester beating Man City 5-2. 3 penalties in the game, and Man City were meant to be the title favourites, going down, and it's not great signs, even though, like, when you look at stats, so what, 72% possession versus 28%.
Yeah.
But that is stock for the way Man City play. They hold the ball and play Guardiola football. So if they're not over 65% possession any game, they're playing very bad. But extremely clinical from Leicester today. 7 shots, 7 on target, and I think they deservedly won that game. Jamie Vardy's second goal was so nice. They pinged the ball down the corner and then crossed it in, and he did like a heel flick where his leg went behind like no look into the back of the net. I was like, that's dirty. That's absolutely dirty. I don't know.
Yeah, wow. So they had 28% possession. They put 5 goals on. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
They play really good counter-attacking football, but you should be able to put 5 goals with 28 possession. Yeah. That's how clinical they were.
Yeah.
Looking at for the rest of the season, I think Leicester every year since the title, we thought, because they obviously, when they went 2016, they won the title.
Yeah, I want to say
2016.
Because I remember, because wasn't that just, weren't they like what 5,000 to 1 or something?
Yeah, 5,000 to 1 at the beginning, which is absolutely I don't think anyone. That's probably one of the biggest sporting upsets of all time. Yeah, especially the Premier League. Yeah,
5,000 to 1 is ridiculous.
Right, that's crazy.
Yeah,
and they were 5,001 to win, and then since then everyone thought, they're just going to drop off, but because they lose players every year to bigger clubs, obviously, because who doesn't want to play for a bigger club? But in terms of where they've been, they could have easily finished third last year until the last game. They went from 3rd to 5th, but then every year they lose players and still turn up, so it's good system. They've obviously got there at Leicester producing top 6 results against they're not considered the big 6 in England, being top 6 consistently is extremely good. Moving to the last game, the lowly West Ham puts 4 on Wolves, who were pretty much a top 8 team. I don't think anyone saw this coming. Jared Bowen, I did predict at the beginning of the season Jared Bowen to be the standout player for West Ham, man of the match, 2 goals from him, and West Ham deservedly winners in that game. There was no goal pressure from Wolves at all during the game, so good signs for West Ham, and I think it's going to be an extremely tight race at the bottom. I think more tight than we've seen, because I think the gap between the good teams and the bad teams have widened, but also like, in the Premier League, like you can never say, oh, this is pretty much a guarantee. Like maybe like a Man City versus Fulham, but even like you can't say, I'm saying that's a guarantee that's going to happen. Like many other leagues, you say Barcelona will just beat every other team.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see. I think West Ham have a pretty tough run coming. Yeah.
EPL is considered like the most competitive soccer league, right?
Yeah.
But is it just because all of them just don't have salary caps, so the top teams just stay at the top?
Yeah.
Because they can pay the most.
Yeah.
So
That's pretty much it. But also, because I think it's also considered the most competitive because a lot of the bottom teams, there's more upsets in the Premier League than in any other league because you see every season in like Spain, for example, the top three doesn't change. It's either Barcelona, Real Madrid, or Atletico. And then same in the Bundesliga, it's Bayern Munich or Dortmund. Now there's another team, Red Bull, Leipzig, which come in, but it doesn't change. Paris Saint-Germain, it's literally the only team in the French league that could win. So, going off my predictions from last week, there's still 2 games to be played, Liverpool and Arsenal tomorrow morning. If Arsenal win that, my prediction of them coming second, that's probably going to happen. But they've got to, for them to come second, they've got to win all the big games pretty much. My Man City prediction of them coming first, it's early days. It's a 38 game season. I think a 5-2 loss, yes, that's pretty big, but yeah, I don't think we can say much, especially due to circumstances. 2020 shortened off season, so can't say much. That pretty much wraps up the podcast of the week. Thanks everyone for coming on again.
No dramas, cheers for having me.
And I'll see you all next week. Please like and subscribe, and if you're listening on Spotify, give it a follow. Thanks guys.